Now I notice the drummer, or should I say the backing singer, or should I say the keyboard player? I mean, the guy's got three jobs. I mean,
Yes.
unbelievable. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Audiophiles. Yeah. My name's John. His name is Andy.
It's
Blue, electric blue. That's the color of my room, where I will live. Blue. Pale blinds drawn all day. Nothing to do, nothing to say. Blue. More on that later. But we have a song to listen to, selected by Andy for our delectation.
I am going to offer you up a band called Half Moon Run. Are you familiar with them? Have you heard of them before?
No, but I have to say, for once, it's a decent name of a band.
Yeah.
Well done, you.
Well, I hate to admit this, but I have very little to do with the band titles that I select.
Really?
No influence, believe it or not. I
I thought they're all under your sort of influence.
No. If only I could wield that kind of power and influence, but no, sadly, no. This is a live performance from a place the band calls the Treehouse of their song called Hotel in Memphis. And I'd love for you to give this performance a watch, this song a listen, and come back and let me know what you make of it all.
Okay, well done.
Excellent.
No, there's something really pleasing about old sort of, I don't think it's been manufactured this way, but it seems like old cine footage, and you get that fluttering of a projector noise and a bit of camera shake and sort of footage there. I don't know if it's been doctored to look like that, but it's like instant nostalgia, even though you don't know when it is or what it is. You just feel, oh yeah, this is cool. Yeah, it's manufactured. Okay, piano, I'm in. That sounds fucking awesome. Straight away, it's lazy, but I'm sort of thinking Ben Folds almost instantly. Plenty of other people play the piano, but you know, that's what I've got, my mind's gone. Yeah, I'm already 3/4 won just by the sound of that.
Something's rushing my blood again. Guess I gotta stop to breathe. Head moving in all directions, singing, waking up wet, not a no sleep.
He's got a really nice voice, and I like that he's doing some signs for the deaf people as well. That's a nice touch.
I fell into a hotel in Memphis, come down with yellow eyes nearly every night.
That's nice.
Came home to a warm man, it was senseless, calling out, darling, damn. Now I'm up at the first line, looks just like I've done it again. Down for what's backwards, this time I've done it for real. But there's nothing like a secret.
Okay. 4 minutes. Right. Back we go. That the whole little sequence there from about there onwards. So really like the strings coming in. Lovely sort of sweeping sound. And then as it sort of come out, it's punctuating his lines. There's a bit of dynamics with it. And then I like the ooze as well. This is all sounding quite old fashioned, old school. It sounds crafted. It sounds awesome. I really like it. It's not post punk, obviously, but I'm a sucker for this. I've said this before with stuff. This kind of sounds like the sort of song that would have been almost mainstream, late 70s. You could hear this, you know, banging out of Dad's old Cortina or Capri or something. What did we have back then? Crappy Morris Marina for a while. Jesus. Definitely had a Cortina, late 70s as well. But yeah, this was sort of stuff banging out. I guess you could almost call it middle of the road, but you know, it's just really, really nice, clean sound. You feel like you're in safe hands as well. And sometimes it's good to be like that. Yeah, let's just hear this bit again.
To a hotel in Memphis, come down with yellow eyes nearly every night. Came home to a war man, it was senseless, calling out, darling, damn. Now I'm up at the first light, looks just like I've done it again. Down for what's backwards, this time I've done it for real. But there's nothing like a
Love it.
secret. Ship seeming off in the distance.
Nice.
I left myself here on a beach. I keep dreaming up new horizons, but I'm standing cold sand, getting cold feet. Fell into a hotel in Memphis. Come down with yellow eyes nearly every night. Came home to a warm man, it was senseless, calling out, darling, damn. Now I'm up at the first light, looks just like I've done it again. Down, forwards and backwards, this time I've done it for real. But there's nothing like a secret. I bet I was out of line again. Made us all awkward in our heads. But I'll find out. I will. I'll find out. I will. It's like I'm running out of secrets I can't keep. No, I can't keep. It's like I'm running out of secrets I can't keep. No, I can't keep. It's like I'm running out of secrets I can't keep. No, I can't keep. It's like I'm running out of secrets I can't keep. No, I can't keep. It's like I'm running out of secrets I can't keep. No, I can't keep. It's like I'm running.
That stopped really suddenly. That was really interesting at the end when he got the second guitar out because it looked like he was playing right down the bottom, almost like it was ghostly wind chimes. That's this little tiny like tinkles I got out of it. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. really nice. The piano had so much bounce to it that just kept it rollicking along. Um, that's the second time I've used the word rollicking in as many episodes. Who'd have thought? Yeah, the string quartet was wonderful. Um, we see a live quartet or orchestra, whatever, you think, oh, that's amazing. But these guys do it, so many times. That's their bread and butter is playing live. So for us, we think, oh wow, that sounds amazing, and it's just another day at the office for them, I guess. But yeah, really, really added so much to the song. I like the guy's voice. It was quite dynamic. There was the sort of soft, thoughtful bit where some just take a pause to think about what I've said and then back into it. Yeah, the whole band worked really nicely. Yeah, it was great. I was getting smatterings, obviously, of Ben Folds, but also like it's like ELO touches, with the strings and stuff and the way the song swept. And then a sort of American middle of the road rocky. I don't know if it's because it's the title Hotel in Memphis, but can't get Hotel California out of my head for some reason. And it doesn't sound anything like that song, but it kept flicking up into my brain. So yeah, this is really enjoyable. I really, really like this actually. Um, I can listen to this again and again. Got to find out more about Half Moon Run from Andy. And the setting was really nice as well. Um, but yeah, let's go back and talk to him and find out the skinny on this band.
All right. Welcome back. You made it out of the treehouse in one piece. What did you think of this performance in this song, man?
Okay, I have to say, starting off that it's interesting that Cine 8 sort of start with the sort of fluttering of the projector has like instant nostalgia vibes and values. Even though I didn't have home movies when I was a kid,
Mhm.
it still made me feel nostalgic straight away. And just as I was wondering to the reaction whether this was an effect or not, sure enough, it clears and proven it was an effect and a very, very pretty setting, very leafy. Um, and underneath all this, as this is going on, and we sort of slowly go into the tree house, there is these really nice reflective guitar notes sort of twittering away, um, like something waiting to coalesce,
Mm.
which it does. So this wonderful piano, and I really mean wonderful sounding piano. It's so rich and full, like the best cup of coffee. So I stopped the track. I did stop the track and say, I'm in. I just loved it straight away. Um, I know it's a lazy comparison, but straight away, the first thing my mind went to was Ben Folds.
Mm.
There are plenty of other people who play the piano, um, but it just straight to him. There was also I could hear some really nice bass, but I couldn't hear where it was coming. Couldn't see where it was coming from. More on that later. So your man over by the decking, obviously he's a smoker. So he starts singing. He has a really good voice, and I love the way he sort of varies on some of the lines. And it's really nice as well to see that he's doing sign language for some of the deaf viewers as well at the
I
same
was
time, which
wondering if
is
that was
really
going to stand
nice.
out to you. In fact, I wasn't wondering if it was going to. I was wondering. I knew that it would. I was
How?
wondering how you were going to describe it, and there you have it. Yeah.
So consider it as well. What a catch. We also get sort of dual vocals from the drummer as well, and it sounds really nice. So this is also a really good start straight away. So the piano is really bouncing away. And then just as the camera pans round to the string quartet, which we caught sight of briefly, very briefly at the start, they kick into the chorus with the song title sort of name checked in it. The sweeping strings, I know it's a cliche to use the word, but they add this lush quality with sort of big strokes at the end as well.
Yeah.
And it sort of powers up those chords, those last few chords in the song to sort of four other levels. If you're playing a video game, you'd be on level 15 instead of level 3 with just the adding of the strings. Really. So we go into the next verse, and the strings now punctuate as well. And the flow is really beautiful. And it's sort of punching with the piano, and it's adding, and then of the four, there's a cello and maybe one of the violins adding some sweeps as well. So it's really filling out and connecting everything. There's a wonderful sound. And I think I did say later in the action, when people see someone playing with like a string quartet or a small chamber orchestra or the big guacamole, as they say, no one says,
as they do. Yes.
People always go, "Oh wow, that's amazing," but probably classically trained players gig so much more than people in the rock and roll industry. I mean, that's how they make their living. It's not from recording contracts or royalties. They're probably gigging sort of 250 nights a year or something.
And they're
So
sort
for
of
them,
musical mercenaries, right? Like they just
yeah.
whatever they're needed for, they're there. And you're right. Like it probably keeps them busier than a lot of other kinds of musicians because of how in demand they are. Right.
Yeah, definitely. But they don't get paid any other way. So they'll be doing 5-6 nights a week, every week in, week out, playing live. So for them, it's like this is a walk in the park. This is nothing. It's easy money.
And you could sort of see it on those women's faces too, that were part of the
Well,
quartet. Like they were like having fun with it, which is charming in its own way.
Big time. Now I notice the drummer, or should I say the backing singer, or should I say the keyboard player? I mean, the guy's got 3 jobs. I mean, unbelievable. So, as I said before, I thought I heard some bass parts, but I couldn't see where they emanate from. Now the curtain is lifted, and I'm also hearing some synthy parts, very discreetly, sort of adding a little bit of polyfiller in, but it's just touches. It's nothing massive. But so I sincerely hope he's being paid by the note, because the guy's doing an amazing job, and no wonder the drums are fairly simple. He's only got one hand.
Yeah.
So he's just taking away. But I will not hold that against him. We get some really nice oohs, and I had to stop and pull back the track and sort of reflect on that. And as I was thinking that this really is like I've said this before about certain songs, but this is the most I thought it of any of the songs you've given me, that this is an old-fashioned, crafted tune that I associate in my head with sort of late 70s American middle of the road music, if you want to call it that. But it's got like quality all the way through. I could easily imagine, and I think I spent a few minutes debating on what car my dad had in the late 70s, but I could easily imagine this blaring out of his Cortina, late on Sundays. We're coming back from grandparents, having that Sunday lunch there. This is the sort of tunes you would hear on the radio, not on his tapes, but on the radio. And it has that. And I have a real warm fondness for this sort of sound. No, it's not post-punk, and it's not the music that I found in my teens, which is probably the most important music people get. They work out what tribe they're in, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I really have a soft spot for this kind of the way this music's put together, and I really enjoy it, and I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah.
So we then get a little break to a single note piano beat, which always makes me think of time and ticking away. And then some sort of groovy notes from the guitar, and this string sort of interjection that Jeff Lynne would have been proud of.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. Really, really nice. And then the singer says, I keep dreaming of new horizons. This guitar starts pinging away like sonar. Really nice. We have the chorus again, and the strings are sounding even better. And at this point, the ladies are grinning at each other and having fun. And, you can tell it's just really good vibes all around.
Oh, for sure.
And it's really nice to see that in the performance. We then get the contractual poignant pause, some nasal musing from the singer, and a little ivory tinkling. And of course, that allows them to come back with sort of power chords to a fulsome return to the main part of the song. But hang on. as the song starts to swirl around and sort of starting to develop, the piano player moves to pick up another guitar. What the hell is he thinking? Does he know he's got a job to do? That guy over there's doing 3 jobs. And he's arsing around. But this almost becomes like a dream sequence within the song. So the singer keeps repeating, I think he says the phrase, it's like I'm running out of secrets. I can't keep them. I can't keep. And he keeps repeating that. The strings start swirling. You get a few sort of interestingly dissonant notes from the strings. He's hunched over the second guitar, and I can't quite see, and it's really faint, but I think he's hitting right at the bottom of the guitar strings, like a creepy sort of wind chime effect. And I think you get these tingling, and I'm sure I heard that as well. The synth is doing some eerie sounds as well. And then the strings are doing some of that old haunted house action with the rising notes as well. And everything rises more and more, and then it just cuts off suddenly. Kind of quite cinematic in the way it cuts off, like the end of a TV or a decent TV episode or a film. This is loads of fun. It's really well arranged and crafted. There was echoes of ELO in it, and also for some reason, it may be just because of the title, because it doesn't sound anything like it, but maybe it's the vibe. But I couldn't get the idea of Hotel California out of my head as well. But not quite sure what this was about. I wasn't really concentrating on what he was saying, more like how he was saying it. But yeah, this is a really big thumbs up. I loved it.
Awesome.
Loved it.
Awesome. Really thought you would.
Oh, sorry. One more thing, forgot to say. Really pretty setting as well. Really nice setup, you know.
Yeah. So quick glimpse behind the curtain here. Sometimes John and I will find a video that we like so much, but that is offered up by the band or the label. And we have to run this test where we just simply upload the video, like us just watching the video on our channel as like a test to see if it passes. And this did, and I'm so glad that it passed it, which meant that I could present it to you formally in this episode, because it is just such a lovely setting. Like, I would love to go to this place and just play music all the time with my buddies, have, you know, a few cans of beer and just sit there and take it all in. And they were having so much fun with each other that it was just like, and it was shot so well, the panning around and catching all of the little bits to really educate you on what you were hearing by providing you like a visual to supplement that. And I just loved this so much. Not just the song in and of itself, but the whole kit and caboodle. So I'm glad it passed the test.
It really added to it.
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely did. You're right. And I'm glad that we could, you know, utilize it on this channel. Big thank you to the guys over at Half Moon Run and their label for letting us use this. And I'm really glad you enjoyed it, John. I thought you might. So yeah, Half Moon Run. They are a Canadian indie rock band based in Montreal, Quebec. The group is known for their heavy use of layered percussion, group vocal harmonies, and for playing multiple instruments during live performances, which is clearly something that stood out to you. Their sound is often described as indie rock, indie folk, and sometimes indie pop. Half Moon Run was formed in 2009 in Montreal's Mile End neighborhood by Connor Mollander and Dylan Phillips, who had both moved to Montreal from British Columbia. They posted an ad on Craigslist. Here we go again with Craigslist ads looking for bandmates that said that they were looking for a bassist and or a drummer. The ad caught the attention of Devin Portilge, originally from Ottawa. And despite not being a bassist or a drummer, he got in touch with Molander and Phillips, who agreed to let him join. Their debut album, Dark Eyes, was released on March 27th, 2012, with Full Circle being released on March 19th as the lead single from that album. They toured Europe, Australia, and North America. The album was met with critical acclaim with universal praise, specifically for their use of 3-part harmonies. Shortly after the release of Dark Eyes, Isaac Simmons joined the lineup. Their second studio album, Sun Leads Me On, was released on October 23rd, 2015. It too was well received by critics, and it charted in 7 different countries worldwide. So 4 years later, on November 1st, 2019, the band released their third full-length album, A Blemish in the Green Light. The album was yet another success and won Adult Alternative Album of the Year at the Juno Awards in Canada in 2020. Throughout May and June of 2020, while the band members had been self-isolating due to the COVID-19 pandemic, they recorded and released videos of themselves performing together via video conferences. Simmons remained with the group throughout this time, though the band announced in May of 2020 that he would be leaving. That same year, they also released 7 new singles, 6 of which were then released together as an EP entitled Seasons of Change. On July 17th, no, forgive me, that was released on July 17th. They followed up in September with the Co-Video Sessions, which is a lovely combining of the two words, COVID and video, and an album featuring the recordings from the May to June video performances. On June 2nd, 2023, the band released their 4th studio album, Salt, on which this track, Hotel in Memphis, is featured. Francis Cameron wrote of the track and the album in his review for Sound of the Horn. The album teeters between acceptance and anxieties, and is expectedly never too melancholy nor upbeat. In fact, the closest we get to a peppy track is Hotel in Memphis, which begins with a modern jazz feel on the keyboards, but nevertheless concludes in a repetitive, submissive confession of, "It's like I'm running out of secrets. I can't keep them." There is no single track that remains entirely positive. In true Half Moon Run tradition, each song provides some sort of blatant, realistic perspective or contemplation. Sam Eekhout of Clash Music, who referred to the album as a beautiful slow burn, gave it an 8 out of 10 and said, "Salt is like a delicate spring breeze on a morning walk, never invasive, but always subconsciously refreshing. Throughout your ears are bathing in the gentle flow of delicate vocal layers and a tranquil sea of synths and strings that rise and fall sparingly." And it's worth noting that on this album, they actually commissioned a string arrangement professional to assist them with adding all of this richness through the string quartet, which you get throughout the entire album, not just on this track. And I gotta say, brilliant idea, because I've really liked some of their earlier stuff, but the addition, I mean, there are only 3 guys, and obviously they're wearing a lot of different hats. But to add this string section to the mix really adds, like you said, I think the word was lushness to the sound. And it really only underscores and highlights the great shit they're already doing, and it doesn't take away from it. So I really, really enjoyed their presence on this album and this track. So Mercedes Cherkov of Spill Magazine gave the album a 4.5 out of 5, stating, "Half Moon Run's latest masterpiece, Salt, offers a captivating and unparalleled listening experience, tugging at the heartstrings of its audience. Every track on this album is infused with raw emotion and compelling storytelling, providing a rare glimpse into the band's collective psyche. The trio of multi-talented instrumentalists and vocalists have curated a musical gem that is bound to keep fans hitting the replay button." So let's jump into these lyrics before I touch a little bit more about specifically this song. "Something's rushing my blood again. Guess I gotta stop to breathe, huh? Head moving in all directions, singing, waking up wet, night of no sleep. Fell into a hotel in Memphis, come down with yellow eyes nearly every night. Came up to a war, man, it was senseless. Calling up, darling, damn. Now I'm up at the first light. Looks just like I've done it again. Down forwards and backwards. This time I've done it for real. But there's nothing like a secret. Ships streaming off in the distance. Left myself here on a beach. I keep dreaming up new horizons, but I stay in the cold sand, getting cold feet. Fell into a hotel in Memphis. Come down with yellow eyes nearly every night. Came home to a war, man, it was senseless. Calling up, darling, damn. Now I'm up at the first light. Looks just like I've done it again. Down forwards and backwards. This time I've done it for real. But there's nothing like a secret. I bet I was out of line again. Made us all awkward in our heads. But I'll find out. I will. I'll find out. I will. It's like I'm running out of secrets. I keep them. I can't keep. It, it's like I'm running out of secrets. I can't keep them. I can't keep. It's like I'm running out of secrets. I can't keep. I can't keep. It's like I'm running out of secrets. I can't keep them. I can't keep. It's like I'm running. So, in an interview with Cult MTL, which is a Montreal-based publication, if I'm not mistaken, the band provided detailed backstory on how Hotel in Memphis came to be, but also how it almost derailed the band entirely. The song's backstory, this is a quote, the song's backstory especially stands out for the band, and dates back in their time on Montreal label Indica Records. Its genesis was a fluttery, beautiful, nostalgic solo piano piece written by Phillips, but has seen many reworkings in years since. Portilge, a big fan of 90s rap acts like Mobb Deep, finds there's a hip-hop sensibility to the finished product, almost akin to Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's evergreen gangster rap anthem, Still Dre. In terms of where Hotel in Memphis landed stylistically, it's gotten battered through the years, says Molander. We just chipped away at it. I don't know what kind of style it is exactly. I'm just trying to do what Dylan did. At one point, the band had a chorus on their hands that the label felt could blow up if they could figure out how to make it into a full, proper tune. The pressure was extreme, adds Portilge, who tells us later he's never actually even been to Memphis, and that the title is more of a metaphorical reference to tour life. So I guess, fell into a hotel in whatever city you're in touring, doing your thing. It was so extreme that we got together in this driveway down from the studio where we were recording it. We did not want to do it, but they wanted us to do it so bad. We went into the driveway in the woods, had a couple of beers, and said, okay, we're going to quit. And if this is the way it's going to be, fuck it. We wrote an email to everybody we knew in the business, and we're like, hey, everybody, we're out. We'll just fly home. Sorry, we're done with Half Moon Run. Then they backed down. Every album after, we've tried to resurrect it, and it's gone quite bad at certain points. But there's always been something there. Eventually, we were able to massage it into the shape we like. So it's a really cool story about how here's this song that's existed from very early on in their musical, careers, or their them as a band. And they've constantly had to revisit it. And despite whatever that pressure is that we've kind of alluded to with other bands in past videos, they were able to kind of maybe it's a Canadian thing. And because of the Canadian kindness, their label kind of bowed or acquiesced and let them develop it on their own time. But I really think that's a really cool story and kind of lesson. I mean, obviously, we're not going to take anything from it, but for other musicians out there, stand your ground. If you really believe in something and your heart's in it and you have conviction, say what you believe and mean what you say. And with time, you'll be able to iron out these wrinkles and turn it into what is really a beautiful song, at least according to a couple old farts on YouTube anyway. So yeah, I thought it was a really cool story.
As well.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, young man. Forgive me.
It's interesting you going through the lyrics and then that, because I was just sort of cleared in my head as you were saying this, that kind of the reason why Hotel California was going through my head is not because it sounds like the song at all, but it's both got the word hotel in their title, but also it's that feeling of being trapped. And I think that's what I was getting the sense of from that song. And that may be, some of that's the lyrics, but some of that is obviously the process of how they try to get this thing out.
Yeah.
But that's the feeling I got, was this sort of feeling being trapped. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it is. And who's to say what is the secret, or obviously you go to something like infidelity from your loved one with your loved one and you want to come clean, and secrets will catch you in the end, or maybe it's wanting to be honest with your label or your bandmates or whatever. It could be myriad different things, but it is interesting, this idea of keeping a secret and being away from folks and having to figure out how to address the situation. Really great song, interesting lyrics, beautiful instrumentation, and throw that into a lovely setting like this live performance was set in the treehouse. And I just think it was a big hit. So I'm glad it went over well with you, John. Thanks for giving it a listen, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Really enjoyed this.
So, guys out there in the listening audience, let us know if you like the song as much as John and I do. If it reminded you of anything else. John's obviously pulled some allusions that he's correlated with. What do you guys think out there? Are you familiar with this band? Have you checked out other stuff? Is there other stuff that we should be checking out on this channel by them? Please, all that and more, please place in the comments field below. Also, while we have you, think about liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't done any or all of those things, we would really, really appreciate it. Trying to grow the channel. Can't do it without you. We've said it a million times. All that out of the way, hopefully John and I will see all of you in growing numbers in the next installment of the Audiophiles. See you later, guys.